I'm really sliding into the finish line here as timing is concerned, because I had work and then some back-to-back classes and then making dinner, and really just barely on time here, which is good because it's still on time. So let's see. This could just win the game on the spot. The sacrifice of the queen. So I'm thinking I'll take this one. It's check, they should take back. We take this, it's check, they take this. We take here, we're hitting the queen. Other bishop's still alive, so they actually cannot. It doesn't work. I was thinking I could go here and I'm hitting the queen and I'm threatening mate, but they can just take it. So that's not quite right. So the next thing on my mind is like deflecting this queen. Deflecting this bishop would also be good. Although I don't think it's really possible to deflect the bishop. This looks kind of pie in the sky-esque. Paul Karras, unluckiest ever. Welcome on YouTube. Was Karras the most unlucky ever? You seem pretty lucky from a political standpoint. He was sort of a favored one, if I remember correctly. No, I'm thinking of Kotov. I think Karras wrote a good book together with somebody. It might have been Karras and Kotov. Maybe that's why I got them twisted. The downside of very ambitious stuff like this is that they could always throw in a move like rook d7. And then take back on f6 somehow. It just seems like a bit much. You know, if I give a rook and then another rook, and then I still haven't played bishop e6, it's probably never going to happen. I just need access to like f7 or f8, and that wins the game, or e6. These are all the weak squares. They have a multitude of weaknesses, I would say. I wonder if there's not something simple just sitting right here. Well, we're down a minor piece, so probably it's nothing like double attack and then win a free piece. Rook f5 definitely doesn't work. What do they really want to do in this position? I get the feeling that they would like to play king f7 on the next move. So any move that does not prevent that is probably a problem. Karras here is suggesting rook f6. I thought about that, but I'm really not too sure. Like, let's say they just take it with the bishop, right? This is what I was going for. You know what? Maybe I'll think about it again. I might have gone too quickly. This is my first puzzle of the day, and usually my first puzzle of the day is a doozy. So let's say we take, right? Now we take, and take here. Okay, this is different because now the bishop is going to go right here, and then we have rook f8, winning the game. So rook takes f6 is actually a reasonable move. I thought it might not work because of rook takes d7, but then we can take it because of queen e8. Okay, so I definitely was going too fast here. I think it's this. If they play queen takes, we're chilling. We just take all the pieces. Okay, so this is the only move, I think. If they take here, we take. If they take at that point, we play queen e8. And then knight f8 is really nothing. So rook f6 is pretty encouraging. All right, I don't see a downside. Okay, my plan was bishop e6. Queen takes check, and they have to play king f7 actually, which should be winning. The reason they can't play bishop takes d8 is we have rook f8 mate. This seems like we're winning all of our material back and more. So they have to play king f7. And now, I was thinking queen takes h8. And this is probably the only winning move. Yeah, I think that's the only winning move. But it's good enough. Yeah, I'm glad I actually didn't get the first one wrong. So I'll probably get the second one wrong. Let's move on. But yeah, rook f6 was kind of what I wanted to do, but I went too fast over it the first go. All right, what's the deal with this one? Their queen looks like it's in a sort of funny spot. Not like funny haha, but you know, like it's a little bit weird that it's over there. The rook on a8 is not doing much yet, but they probably want to like take on b4 and then take on a4. That's probably what they're going for. So I'm looking at moves like queen f7 or queen d2, I don't know. Queen f7 is threatening queen f4 and bishop f8. I think these are the main issues. So after queen f7, what's going to happen? Probably rook f5. And we're down in exchange. Yeah, white is down in exchange, of course. So after bishop f8, I'll be playing that for the initiative. I'd want to keep checking them and try to take all their stuff with check, that kind of thing. It's definitely not like I'm happy for them to play rook takes f8, because I would just be earning the exchange back. My hope is that we can exploit this unprotected rook on e5. Queen f7 seems like the only move that makes sense right now. Like if I play bishop e3, they could play king to g7, for example, which seems totally fine. Oh no, there's actually bishop d4, so maybe it's not trivial. Bishop e3, king h7, then queen f7 is winning. So if bishop e3, they have to play g5. Which is interesting. I was thinking h4. But also queen f7 again. Hello, Eater Master, welcome. Yeah, I'm doing puzzles right now, but I'm flexible. I have some games queued up that we could look at too. Um, I have some games like what Mahir was looking at, some Ali Reza games. But yeah, I have been doing a lot of puzzles. That's definitely true. Queen f7 is an idea. Bishop e3 is an idea. For Woof, who's watching without sound. Karaz, I'm not playing Blitz with viewers today. I want to like look at games or solve some positions, that kind of thing, but not playing viewers. I'll probably play against people sometime, like when I'm on break, but I want to actually be in reasonable form to play viewers. Which doesn't mean I'm not going to play some meme chess, but you know, I'd like to at least enjoy it. I don't think I would enjoy it right now. So I'm more in a training mindset. I'm not convinced that bishop e3, g5, h4 is winning. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Because they could always sack back, right? It looks like a very good position, though. Like, if I had to just guess a move, I'd say bishop e3. Against queen f7, rook f5 looks pretty good. Then again, like, what if they sack the exchange? Like, let's say they go here, and they're like, you know, I'm not going to give any counterplay, and then we play bishop d4, and they just give it up. Like, they play maybe rook e8. Is that even winning? I remain skeptical. Never thought I'd say this, but Paul Karas is asking, what is my view on the Magnus Hans controversy? Well, I've played both of those players, and I don't know either of them very well. I have heard people, like reputable people, express opinions about this before it happened. Like, I've heard people discussing the notion that there's cheating, and also like the possibility that Magnus is just gonna like lose his mind. I think all of those things are on the table, and I don't have enough information to actually make an affirmative stance. I think that the chess world stands to actually lose a lot. Like, it might be creating popularity in terms of views for there to be a controversy in the first place, but I think it's kind of ugly. Like, if it turns out that there is no cheating, then people are needlessly harassing a young person. And if there is a cheating incident, then it's also a shame for chess. So I'm not really pleased about it. Yeah, bishop f8 was definitely one of my ideas here. I'm just catching up with the chat a bit. So if we play this, queen f7, Utermaster is saying queen d3, which prevents bishop e3, but it doesn't prevent queen f4 check, which was my main idea. This is why I wanted to do this. If they play g5, then there's either queen f6 or just directly queen takes e5. So I thought they would play rook g5, and then we play h4. And the queen on f4 is guarding g3. So I don't think queen d3 is anything. But your point about queen f7, rook f5, bishop e3 is totally valid. We are going to win material in that case. So I guess I'm still trying to figure out what's the difference between bishop e3 and queen f7. I think they're sort of, they go together. I kind of like queen f7 first. All right, here's a big difference. Let's say I play queen f7 and they just take the bishop. They're up in exchange, right? They can just take it. Let's pretend, right? Like, they'll just take it. I imagine we should take back. And then they have some initiative here. Like, what is our threat anymore now that they've sacked this exchange? Maybe they would play queen d3 at that point. And I think we're struggling to actually use our pieces. So for this reason, I think it's bishop e3. Now here, bishop d4 is like a pretty transparent way to put pressure on. And they have to support this rook in order to not sack an exchange under unfavorable circumstances. So I think that's the next move. Okay, apparently that's it. I was wondering like how we're going to make a big advantage here. I was looking for some quiet move, like rook f1, which is what it's suggesting. That makes a lot of sense. It says queen takes f1. That's very desperate. I guess we're just doubling. There's nothing they can do about it. Like maybe we would play rook f1, queen to c8. Oh, we already have queen f7, right? So they don't even have time for that. That's why queen f1. So that was it. I think the reason for... Let's check the reasoning. Because my reasoning for bishop to e3 was that if I start with queen f7, they will play rook c5. Let's find out. Yeah, rook c5 zeros, according to the engine. Interesting. Alright, a king and pawn endgame. My favorite, said no one ever. King and pawn endgame's very important, but don't happen that often in practice. Pawn endgames are the most decisive endgames, though. Changed my mind. You can generally figure out, with enough effort, if it's a win, a draw, or a loss. It's never going to be like white's better, like there's compensation, two bishops, nothing like that. So, what's the most forcing thing? We could take this, and then they have two options exactly. That's it. So maybe we could consider that first. If they take with the h-pawn, then king f3 looks winning. For instance, king g1, h5, and they have to wait, because if they play king to h2, then we take on f2. And that seems like a definite W for the black side. And if they wait, then we play h5 and break through. Take, take, and now it's like we each have one pawn. Actually, that looks like a draw because it's an h-pawn. I forgot about that whole part. Whoopsie, it's not good. So if it's this, then probably the follow-up will be something like g4. Yes, very good. But then they play king g2. And is it kosher? I'm not sure it is. Maybe we play h5, and they have to deal with the fact that it's their move again. If they play f3, we take it with the pawn. We're winning, I think. Yeah, so they play f3, we take. They play king f2. Even that looks like a draw, so I'm kind of confused about this. Because I think after king f2, I don't have a good move. So it could be that it's not... It could be none of the above. This could be what we're looking at here. It could be g4. Also quite forcing. I imagine that they want to trade, so maybe they'll take, play king g2, we play h5 because nothing else really makes sense anymore. They play h3 to try to trade even more. Yeah, it seems like as pawns are leaving the board, the drawing chances are increasing a lot. Ideally, we would just not have an h pawn. So what if we play like f3? And they play... Alright, let's say they just do nothing. Like, we play f3, they play king e1. And we play like king d3. Just in pretendingville. And, I don't know, again they do more or less nothing. Or maybe they prepare trades. Let's say they go here and then h3. Well, maybe... Alright, let's stick with the idea that they do nothing. Like, I'm going here, they're going here. I go here, they just go back. Yeah, this could win. Alright, so if they do nothing, we win, because we can eventually corner their king, where their king is here and our king is here, and force them to play an h-pawn move. So we would win like that. But let's say they play h3, and we go here. And they are, I don't know, maybe not cooperative. We go here, and now they have to make some pawn moves or suffer worse pain. Let's say they play g4. That could be annoying. Maybe. Yeah, I think that if they play g4, we're going to be quite challenged to come back over here and break through. So if we go here, we have to play h5. Now if they play g4, we can take, and bring our king over and take the g-pawn. And if they play h4, we can take, and bring our king over to take the h-pawn. Those both seem good. So it's all stuck. They have to go here. We play king d3. They go here. It's a big smush, where we have to waste a move somehow. Doesn't look possible. But if we go here, then they can play this one. That also looks like a draw. Okay, how do we not draw? How now? Brown cow. I'm not even sure an invasion on g2 would win. Like king f3, king e1, king g2, king e2. I take this, and... Well, maybe... You want to go here, they're actually playing h4. Alright, so if I go here, they're probably going to take on f4. This is a lot more likely. Maybe I'll play g takes. I don't know. They're sort of reduced to useless waiting, I think. They could always add h3 in. Let's say they add h3. We go here. So far, nothing really convincing is showing up for me. A lot of stuff looks like a draw. So I'm probably missing an important detail in one of the lines. I bet I've already looked at the line. There's not that many moves to look at. If I had to guess, it's either f takes g3 or g4. So I'm going to just narrow my search on these, or f3. All right, so I have 3 options that I think make a lot of sense. Let me try ruling out g4. g4 they take, and play king g2. Their intention is to play h3. If we play h5, they play h3. And that's a draw. So g4, they take this. I don't think there's any other option. Okay, so I think it's either this or this. Let's try to eliminate f3. Let's say they do this. And then just h3. Just say no. Okay, and I play h5. Why not? Chutia chess player is challenging me. I'm not taking challenges right this second, but I appreciate your challenge. I will give you a follow. It's probably the notification saying I can't follow hundreds of people. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. All right. I will try to remember your name, Chutia. Okay, so anyway, they have to play either king g1 or king e1 after that, I think. Because if they play g4, we take it, and then come over and take the pawn. If they play h4, we take it, and then come over and take the pawn. And that gives reasonable winning chances. So let's say that they play like king e1. I don't think king g1 makes sense. If they play king g1, we play king d3, king f1, and king d2, and they lose. So I think they have to play only king e1. Thank you for following. Friend with an unpronounceable name on Twitch. Is a 1086 or something like that. It looks like my Wi-Fi password, so I don't know how to say it, but I really do appreciate your follow. I think this is the way to go. I'm gonna just play it. Okay, so they made a king move. I found that unlikely. Now if I immediately play g4, I think I might have a draw on my hands. I go here, they go here perhaps. I mean, not perhaps, I mean they probably have to. I go here, they go here, I go here. Okay, maybe not. Like if they play king d2, I play king b3, king e3, king c2, king f4, king d2, king takes g4, and king e2, a position of reciprocal Zugzwang. We are just going to win this f-pawn. Actually, it's not even reciprocal Zugzwang, we just win the game. So I'm going to call you Iza, because I don't know. So thank you, Iza. So it could be g4, just locking that whole shebang down. No h3, no h4, no nothing, because we will take it en passant and win with pomp and circumstance. So let's say I play king d3, just for sake of argument. They would take the opposition probably, and then we could still play g4 to take it right back. So maybe after king d3, they will play something different. Maybe they'll play h3, h5, and maybe it turns out that it's a small world after all or something. Maybe after h3, h5, they will play king d1, taking the opposition. And we don't have a move that makes progress. So I think it's g4. And if they play king d1, we play king d3. And if they play king d2, we play king d4. I think this is right. Alright, it was wrong. Curse my existence. It's probably king d3. Okay, and then g4. Alright, so what's the problem with g4 right away? Is it really king d2? I thought this was good. Like they go here and here, and here and here. I saw, oh, I thought they would go for king e3, king f4, and king g4, but they played this, maintaining the opposition. But I can make a waste move, so what gives? They go here. Okay, and because I cannot gain access to the back rank, they can just maintain the opposition. That is sad. Oh, g4 wins, I know that. That makes sense. I just couldn't tell the difference between these two lines, like what their drawing resource was. If you play king d3 first, and they play king d1, once we play g4, this is Zugzwang, opposition. Like if they go here, we push them out. They have to play h4 eventually, and then we win. We could even take on f2. There's no stalemate here, which is a line I had calculated. I just got, I guess, confused here. Like, should I be preventing h3 or should I be preventing king d2? So if I play this and they play h3, it says king c2 wins. This is probably a draw. Yeah, this is what I calculated. This is a draw, and it agrees with me. g4 loses, so I didn't even think about that. Thanks, engine, very much. King c2, g4, right. So this is a position that I had envisioned in a different line. I didn't make the connection here that once you play, let me see. I lost my train of thought. What was it? Here? h3. Right, this is what we were looking at. I was thinking that once we have king c2, g4, I didn't notice that. Yeah, even though it's the same line, I calculated in a different position. Okay. So the main thing to look out for here is that this structure, 3 versus 3, is a draw. Okay, something to remember. Well, I can take a knight for free. It's check. Just like don't lose the queen on the next move. So what gives? Let's say we just take it. And they play, I don't know, some move where they don't get checked in the next turn. Like this. Actually, is there such a move? Because I could play this maybe. And this. And if they will just be patient and play a move like King G8, I would probably play Queen D8 check, King G7, and E7, which just might win the game. Okay, so this is a thought. Schnagenspiel, welcome. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. Just doing some more puzzles here. And maybe at some point we can look at a game. I'm not sure. I do want to get in like at least a few puzzles before I switch and do something different. Okay, I think I can just take this knight. And here I was thinking I'll just take on G5 with the pawn. Because, I mean, my queen's hanging. I may as well create some chances for myself. Bon chance. I don't see what could really be wrong about that. But this is the part where I would lose. No doubt. I think I'm going to play it, though. Like, what could really go wrong here? I have Queen H3. I have Queen F8. The stars are aligning. It looks pretty good. Oh, this looks like a full-fledged game. You're right. The other week, there was a guy who was criticizing. He's like, "Oh, Lichess puzzles are not even really puzzles. Stop doing those. Just play a move. Blah blah." Like, very impatient. And the thought that I had at that moment is that the Lichess puzzles are actually like concentrated critical moments of the game. So if you want to improve, it's probably a good tool, because a lot of people say like, "Oh, I like to play games to improve." Okay, so what about the game makes you improve? It's probably that you experience these critical moments and you have to work your way through them, and you might analyze them afterwards. So this is like, you just get the most important part of someone else's game over and over again. So like, it seems like a good technique, even if the puzzles are not like easy, like tactical motifs, something like that. Yeah, so it is a suggesting Queen H3, King G6, and that Queen F8 might be better than that. I think I'm understanding that right. My first feeling is to do this as well. So let's just analyze it to the death, or to the ground, or something. Analyze to death makes it sound kind of bad, but I like it that way. So they will have few options, right? They go, right click, no. So they go here, or here, or here. Are any of these like obviously bad? Well, if they play King H7, I think Rook takes E7 wins. Bishop takes, Queen takes with check and everything. It's like, oh my god, it's like the end of the world. King G6, and then we can throw a check, probably on F7, and play E7. That looks pretty winning because they don't have a way to control E8 effectively. On the next move, we're making a queen. And I think we're covering our own tail pretty well. The queen will be able to drop back and protect this diagonal, where I think they would be going for perpetual. I don't see why I would play Queen H3. It just seems kind of like nothing's happening here. It doesn't look great. So I think I'll play this one. Was it really Queen H3? No, it was neither of them. What is this non-check? Could be just this. Well, I'm protecting this spot, so they're not actually threatening Rook F2. So maybe I just go for mate. Like, I just do this. Okay, this does make sense. Yeah, this is better than what I was thinking. I just missed this idea. I was thinking to do this. It says it's equal after King G6. What if I take this? It says this is equal. So I take. Actually, here it says that rook c8 is winning for black. Okay. I was going to do this. Oh, and there's queen g6. And, okay. Should have known. It was too good to be true. I was thinking, like, I'm going to get my pawn on e7 with tempo, but it's just a little shy of being right. Okay. A couple easy moves. Actually, this move's easy, too. I'm a little displeased with getting that wrong. But it's okay. Such things happen. That's why it's training and not winning. So, let's go. I have this check. That looks obvious. I don't see what else this could really start with already. I want to include my piece that's not doing anything. I'm going to just do it. Oh, wait, but there's also queen b8. Maybe this is the difference. Queen b4 looks fine, so I think it's rook b8. Okay. We got some checks. I kind of like this one, because if they go here, then I can play queen d8, and that looks pretty good for some reason. They could go back to a4. There's really not much going on there, is there? Okay, there's probably something subtle going on. Is asking, why do I play the move so fast? Good question. So, some moves I could like deliberate forever and just not play them. But if I'm playing in a tournament or something, I really can't afford to do that. There are certain kinds of moves that I think you can play automatically, and I'm trying to train that for myself, as well as the like moments of deep calculation. So in this first position, it's not really that I just like played quickly. It's that like I looked at the set of possible moves and I didn't see any direction that made sense to like find a winning sequence except for this one. I didn't say it all out loud, but I looked at a lot of moves here, and this is. You're right in the sense that king a4 is the only move that they can play, but that's exactly why I should just play rook b8. Like, if they can only play this move, and I don't have any other move that makes sense, there's no reason for me not to go ahead and play it, in my opinion. And it wasn't wrong, so I have to look a little bit more. Queen c2 is definitely a move to look at, Schnagenspiel. I'm still searching for like what should come next. Bringing the king out more and including all of our pieces seems fine. Like rook b8 is good, but at this part, definitely I need to slow down. I don't see something obvious yet. I was hoping for something where I get like queen d8 with tempo, or maybe I get queen b6 with tempo, but it's not really there yet. Maybe it's something like queen c2, king a5, and then queen g6. They have this check. That's important. So maybe it's actually like queen f4, king a5, and queen d6. The idea of queen b6. Queen h4 and queen d8 doesn't seem to get anywhere after they play king a4. So that's why I'm kind of honing in on this. Actually, I used to agree with Izza's stance, if I understand it correctly, that, you know, if there's a sequence of moves and it's all forced and stuff, there's no reason to, like, immediately play the move. Like, just visualize it and find the win, something like that. But I found that that's not really realistic. In practice, it's important to be able to, like, play the first move and then go a little bit further. I had a lot of games where I'd calculate until, like, there's just nothing left. And sometimes I'd like win in a very flashy way, and so it seemed kind of good, like it was rewarding in that sense. But I think it failed me a lot more often than it helped. You know, there'd be a lot of miscalculations along the way. All right, another thing to note here is if the king is on a5 and I play a quiet move, they actually have queen a4 check, which might be useful for them. So maybe it's better not to provoke the natives or something. Schnagenspiel reports a loss in 3 moves at +8. I imagine you don't mean on move 3. But like a position where you're +8, you lost to a 3-move combination. That's unfortunate. That could be a prophylaxis thing where you're trying to anticipate your opponent's idea. Okay, I think queen c2 is not it. They could play b3. They could also play king a5. They both look like reasonable moves. So I think we can rule out queen c2. I think queen f4, king a5, queen d6 doesn't make a lot of sense because they have queen a4. And it looks like they're untangling their pieces. Maybe after queen a4, king to e7, they might play queen to h4 check, going for perpetual, or exchanging pieces. Izza says that I haven't considered the best move. I mean, I totally am prepared for that to be the case. I just haven't noticed it yet. Whether I've considered it or not, I'm just kind of looking at in my own way. I'm cool with that. So I think queen d6 makes sense. Threatening queen b6. But actually queen b6 isn't doing that much. Yeah, usually when you know the answer to something, it's pretty obvious at that point. At any rate, if I allow rook takes d5, it's probably not good. So the set of all moves that I'm thinking about, it has to be either check or maintaining protection on d5, as far as I can tell. Against queen h4 and queen f4, they also have the move c4. That could be kind of annoying. So I still haven't really hit on the right idea. I think c4 is a real issue. Because we could take it, but then there's rook d5 with counterplay. And depending on where our queen ends up, there could be queen h3, so that could also be a problem. My plan has mostly been to get the queen to like a6. Because if I could play queen a6, rook a5, queen c6, that would win the game. They'd have to block with the rook, we'd take it. But the easy routes to a6 are mostly not working. I don't know. Queen d6 was on my mind. Maybe that's just it. I don't see any other moves that go to a6 that easily. So maybe I go here. if king a5, then queen b6, king a4, queen a6, rook a5, queen c6. Is this as I need to think more concretely? I mean, I feel like I'm being pretty concrete. Maybe I'm just not that good. I mean, that's okay. But like, what do you think is more concrete? Don't tell me a move, but like, I'm considering moves and I'm evaluating the variations. I don't think it's really like not concrete. Rook takes e5 is not a legal move. Yeah, d5, okay. Because they can play a move like queen d6 on the next. It's just unnecessary counterplay as far as I can tell. At any rate, I haven't exhausted my possibilities here. Like, let's say I played like queen e2, which just goes to a6. I haven't gotten there yet because I could still try to get it going like this. So let me just figure this out real quick. A little too much talking. So what will they even play? Maybe b4 so they can run back. Like we could give this check, but then it's not really amounting to anything. Okay, so maybe b4 is a problem. This was one of my ideas earlier. But I think after rook d5, it doesn't really make sense to play like king c7 or king c6. And king e6 runs into rook d6. And if I play king e8, then there's rook e5 check. And this is not good either. Yeah, I'm not sure about your point, Isa. I'm looking at a line here where it's not very good to allow rook takes d5. I said after king e6 they can play queen d6. So yeah, they can't play it directly because we're controlling that. It wasn't a ghost in that line. Like the Anyway, now that I see that b4 is the refutation for queen d6, I think I need other ideas. So b4 is probably also the problem with queen f4 and queen h4, even if it's not c4. Those seem like problems. I think if they can bring their king back to b3, they should be safe. Santosh, welcome. Queen g4 is an illegal move. Maybe it's like not so good for them to play b3, because we could play queen e4. And maybe if they play c4, there's a problem with that. Not really seeing it. Queen h4 I've already been over. Like queen h4, b4 for example. It's just one move. You could also play c4. Even king a5 doesn't look like it loses. Like check here, check. They go back. I don't see the winning sequence. Yeah, I'm trying here to find this supposedly obvious move, but I just don't see it, which is interesting. I'm not sure if it makes sense for there to be a rook move here. Like I think our queen is the piece that's misplaced. Yes, as I've heard of checks captures threats before. I know. You might have noticed I've looked at a couple of checks today. I'm not sure what I'm missing among these options. You know, like I have these checks, right, which I've already looked at. Rook b4 is not really a move. I could always take on b2, but I don't really see why that's a good idea. It just looks like it reduces to a rook and 2 pawns versus rook and 2 pawns endgame, potentially. Or worse. Because it's not forced that they take that endgame. Yeah, like I see captures, but like I don't see why taking on b2 is good. For instance, like let's say I take it like this. I could also take with the rook. Rook makes more sense to me. So they take, right? I guess king e6 makes sense because there's not queen d6. Yeah, this is interesting. So what I missed about this idea in the first place is that rook takes a2 is a threat. That does look kind of like the answer. So I think I was maybe too insistent initially on looking for mate. I wanted to exhaust the possibilities for mate, but there's nothing wrong with looking for a way to win material here. I don't know, I saw this like queen a6 idea, and there's like lots of ways to get there, and just kind of got into this whole way of thinking. Yeah, I think it's rook takes b2 though. I'm gonna try it. Okay, and that's it. I bet it's not even equal if I play something different. Let me see. It says rook b6 is the next move, and then queen d6 is the next move. So where's the draw here? Okay, b4 is a draw. This looks like not a amazing position to me. Like if you play h5. I guess it's just equal, because their king's not safe either. Interesting position. With no checkmate, despite their weird king position. Okay. So how about this one? This is one of those puzzles where people would like criticize, say like it's not really a tactics puzzle, but I'm cool with it. I'd be like, oh, this is a rook endgame, it's not a puzzle, whatever. This pawn's trying to promote, so getting behind it makes sense, possibly. This would probably result in this pawn endgame, where I'm going over here, and they're going over there. And I don't find this preferable. Yeah, really don't. Maybe going a little bit further along, after all these trades and stuff, and coming over here, and just because this is like more or less forced, I think it's fine to look at it. They go here. I might play something like this. They take, I go here. They come back, and that's a reciprocal Zugzwang position. So I'm wondering if I'm actually forced to occupy this square right away. So they go here. Wait, hold on. So when they end up here, I'm already here. So I would take this, they go here. I take this, they go here. They also don't even have to accept losing the pawn. They can just come here and here. So this is not the right direction, I think. So probably going to the pawn in game is not right. But I still like the idea of trying to take this pawn. I wonder if they can just trade pawns. Probably not, because h2 is happening and this rook is stranded. So that's a good idea. So maybe we're going here. They are probably obligated to try something like this in order to make it back in time, but then we can play h2. If they take it, we get a queen with check. That seems pretty good. Yeah, I don't see them like maintaining this organization and getting the pawn down. At the very least, I could play this move and then go here. So you could play queen against rook, and it looks like a good version. Do they have any other moves here? Rook c2. Maybe rook a5. We could go here. We go back. Maybe I would play king d6 and just take the pawn and maintain this annoying outside pass pawn. This looks pretty reasonable. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Okay, Izzo was asking after rook d5, do we have to take... Oh, rook c5, okay. I think based on this, the answer is no. Do I have any other reasonable moves here? I think rook c2 is the only really reasonable move. Oh wait, they might have some checks or something. Like after rook c2, rook d7. Okay, well king f8 is there. And I could always hide, like check, check, check. Sorry, go here. Go down there, hide here. And when they finally decide to push this pawn, for example, like this, with my rook right here, I will play h2, and they'll get a queen, and I'll just take it, and I'll make my own queen. That seems right. Okay, I'm gonna just do this. Oh man, it was wrong. Sad. So what could it be? Yeah, I'm not sure. This is kind of weird. Maybe just here, because then they can't use their idea of getting on the back rank. I wonder if it's still winning the other way, or if it's actually a draw. It says rook c2 is equal. Rook d7, I go here. I thought if I sack for this pawn, I'll be fine. Oh, okay. I definitely missed that. Yeah, I thought their main idea was to promote to a queen, and that would be fine, but this is better, of course. So I should keep this in mind in the future. That they could just give it up. Alright, that was unfortunate, but good puzzle. Knight f7 threatens mate, but I bet they could easily deal with that. This position looks pretty bad, honestly. So I imagine that it's important to try to checkmate them. So let's just analyze this. I don't know if checking is going to really help them, so what would I focus on here? Well, maybe making a space for the king. Notably, I can't play king f5. I think that if they played rook b6, I'd play king e5. So anyway, so play g5, I bet. But then after rook h8, king g6, I think I can go back to e5. And that's mate. Okay, that's interesting. So if I go here, how do they even guard this spot? Maybe they have to throw the check in order to try to ruin the coordination. King e5. And now after they play g5, rook h8, king g6, there is no knight e5. So maybe, let's see, am I cool with losing with them sacking the exchange? I was thinking like they will check, I'll go here, they'll check, I'll go here, they'll take it, I'll take it, and then we're cooking with rice or something because they have a lot of pawns and a knight, but their king's in a weird spot. Well, I don't know if anything else really makes sense besides knight f7. I think the position is very desperate, and creating mate threats is what we have to do. So I'm going to play the first move. So now it's like, do I go here or here? Another issue potentially. So check. And I can't play king d6 because they would take the knight. And if I play king f8, this is blocking my whole threat. So probably king e5 is necessary. So then what are they doing after g5? Maybe I'll take it. Why not take the pawn? Well, I'm in check. Oh, on g5 in that variation? The reason I'm hesitant to look at this is after king e5, g5, knight takes g5, king g6. My knight's hanging and their king is walking away. It's like their king is not trapped the way I was hoping it would be. It might be still feasible, I just don't know yet. I was hoping to find a checkmate. For instance, I could play like king f4, but then I think after knight to e2 check, this is not working out. It's just prolonging the game. I don't think it's making the position better. And a move like knight d6 doesn't make sense to me either. Like they could play knight e4 and looks fine. King e5 is definitely the more appealing option here. King takes d5 might be what Santosh is talking about. I don't really want very much to do with this pawn on d5. Because we're already down 3 pawns. It's not a substantial, it doesn't have a substantial impact. I mean, if it's the best I've got, yeah, I'll take it, but I'm looking for more like, trapping the king type options here. So here they play g5. I was thinking about rook h8, they go here. Maybe it's just a draw. Like maybe I'm playing for a draw because the position is so bad, right? So maybe it is king e7, rook b7, king e6, maintaining the mate threat. They take this, I take it back. Is this a draw? I think I can probably steal a tempo at a critical time with a mate threat. That might be good. For instance, maybe after king takes f7, they'll play f4, and then I'll take here, and then they'll play f3, and then I'll play rook a3. With the idea that if they play f2, I take on g3. If they play f1, I play... Oh, I can't play rook h3. The queen's guarding it. Okay, I think it's king e5. No, wait. I was thinking king e7. I was wrong. It's not either of those. Could be knight d6. No way. Wait, was that not all the legal moves just now? So I played all the legal moves. Oh, king d5 after all. Okay, so they still play this. Oh, okay, this is... You know, I was wondering if something like this would come up, but I just didn't notice it. I thought maybe I could get a perpetual by threatening rook h8. It looks like we're even winning in this position. That's funny. I really didn't feel like this was a winning position. It's not that I didn't look for this, I just didn't notice it. So Santosh's move was good. This looks like rook takes f2, like in the bag. So what's the caveat here? We take this, what are they gonna do? If king f2, I think this is perfectly good. I take this, everyone's happy. So what are they gonna do? Like this? Alright, rook d1 is their defense. So now if I, for example, move this rook, they can play king f2. So maybe I have to just maintain it with e3, which is also preparing rook d2, something like that. For instance, maybe after e3, rook e7, I'm meeting it with rook d2. Is there really just like one move here? I guess it's just true that the rook is hanging. Like, I can't really put it anywhere. Yeah, I guess this is the only move. Okay, that was easy enough. This could be a situation where I play e6. I don't see why they would take on c5, but you know, they could, and I'll take it, and take, and check. And they'll go here, and then this is mate. But that's all pretty hopeful, because they have to take on c5 with the bishop. So what else? They could take with the rook, but how about the straightforward move? Okay, so if they take this, I think my next move is king e2. But then maybe I should just play king e2 in the first place. If they take this, I'll just check. and then take the rook on a3. Oh, I was thinking, sorry, king e2, rook a3. No, wait, yeah, they'll take this, go here, and then just take the rook. All right, I'm getting tired. I'm doing some weird stuff. Probably I'll make this my last puzzle for today. So is it like I just go here, or I go here and then king e2? This seems normal. If they play bishop 8, I'm sorry, if they play rook a3, I'll just take it. And then I'm playing up an exchange. In fact, after e6, they might play d4 in order to play rook e3. So it's probably important to play king e2 immediately. Alright, they're sacking for it. And why don't I just take this rook and then throw this check and then take the rook on d3? I should probably not take this because they could take this one and then this one. So I'm going to take this one. I can take that because when they do this, I'll block with the rook. Seems fine. Just up a piece. Alright, so that was not bad, but I should probably wrap it up for now. So thanks for hanging out, doing the tactics. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even if you might object sometimes to my way of doing it. Not perfect, but I am here to do puzzles with you guys, so hopefully that's good enough. Alright, good luck with your chess, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Good luck.